Hi Vintage Dolls, it's Emelyne. So do you guys see what I have behind me? November 26th was my birthday and Connor has been telling me to get a real tree for so long, so we finally went, got a real tree. It smells amazing, so I might have to do an updated house tour now because now my house is all different and I have 3 Christmas trees. It's a little crazy, but anyway, today I'm going to show you guys how to make the vintage inspired wreaths that you guys saw in my last video. I've been getting so many requests now to show you how to make them. They are so fun. You guys can make them for Christmas, obviously, or you guys can make them for Easter, a baby shower, anything like that. They're super cute to just put around your house or to give as a gift. They're really unique and I think that they are just adorable. So if you guys want to learn how to make these, then just keep watching. Wow, this is so weird to be doing a voiceover. I have not done a voiceover in what feels like months, but anyway, this is the original wreath I made 3 years ago and I keep getting so many requests. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this one today. So what we're going to be needing for this is a styrofoam wreath. I got mine at Michael's, but you guys can also get them from Hobby Lobby. That's where I normally get them from. Then you're going to be needing some garland. The pink one is vintage and the white one is from Target. And then you're going to be needing some plain ornaments. These ones are from Target. I love these colors. These ones were $6, but they also had a pack that were $3. They were just slightly different colors. Then you're gonna need some statement pieces. So these two are also from Target. Normally I use vintage ones on this to give it more of a vintage feel, but I know that a lot of you guys don't have antique stores where you live, so I wanted to show you that you guys could still make this wreath really cute without actual vintage ornaments. And I also have another tip to make your ornaments look vintage, which I will tell you guys later on in this video. But for the hook, I just took a paper clip and made it into a triangle shape, and I'm hot gluing this down, and then once I push it down, I'm gonna add more hot glue on to the top of it just to make sure it really stays in place, especially if you have vintage ornaments on here. You do not want this falling. So now I'm taking the garland and I'm going to place it on the hot glue. And I'm just going to wrap this around, and every couple times I wrap it around, I'm going to put some glue onto the styrofoam and just make sure that the garland is stuck to it. It's pretty self-explanatory. Depending on the size wreath you guys do, you may need 2 strands of garland. For this one, I only needed 1 because it was a very small wreath. So any of the excess garland that you have, you can just clip off and then glue the last little strand down and you're all set. So this is so important. Always make sure that you keep in mind where the hook is, because I have started the wreaths before and glued items down and then the hook was like on the side and the whole wreath was messed up. So I had to replace the hook. So just be really careful that you keep in mind where that is. So I always just like to arrange my ornaments first. So I'm showing you guys the 2 different options with the vintage ones and also these ones from Target, which I think are absolutely adorable. So the little balls from Target are super helpful because it really helps to fill in the wreath, and if you are using vintage ornaments, it can get pretty pricey. My first wreath probably cost me around $45 because I use a ton of old ornaments, where this wreath I only have 3 old ones, so it wouldn't cost me as much. So these little balls from Target really help to save you money because it just helps to fill it in a little bit more. And I also wanted to show you guys that you can layer your garland. I think that this looked adorable, but I just wasn't positive that I loved it so much, but I still think it's really cute. I just didn't think I wanted to do it for this wreath, but just showing you guys some different options here. So once you have your decorations all laid out and you know where you want to put everything, it is time to glue them on. So it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to burn myself in about 2 seconds here. So just be really careful that you guys don't burn yourselves because it will probably mess up your wreath a little bit and also hurt your finger. So once you glue each item down, I also just wanted to tell you guys that if you glue an item down and then you realize you hate the positioning of it, it's totally okay. And that's why it's always good to have some extra garland, because you guys will see in a minute, I put this ball down and I thought I loved where it was, but it's really good to pick up the wreath every time you put an ornament down. That way you can see how it's gonna look when it's on a wall. And I realized that when I was holding it up, I didn't like the positioning of it. So in a little bit, you guys will see that I ended up ripping off this ornament. And basically, when you do that, all you have to do is just take, well, you guys can see right here. Basically all I did was just rip off the ornament, and then I took some extra garland and just placed it over where the hot glue goes. And it's really easy. You don't even notice it because you're gonna fill the rest in with more ornaments. So some advice I have for you guys, if you don't have any vintage ornaments, but you want your ornaments to look kind of old-fashioned, what you guys can do is take nail polish remover and put it on a cotton ball and rub it over your ornaments on some of the spots, and it will help it to almost strips the ornaments a little bit, and it makes it look very old and old-fashioned and dated, and it just really helps to make them look vintage. So I've done that before on some of my ornaments, and it looks really good. So that's just a really easy option to do. But basically, I am just finishing up the wreath right now and adding more ornaments to it. And like I said, it's good if you pick it up every few minutes just to see that you like the placement of everything. Here is my final wreath. I love how this came out. It's definitely a lot different than the original wreath I made. It's very girly and fun, and I love it so much. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely day. If you guys do decide to make these, then be sure to tag me in your picture on Instagram or Twitter. That way I can see it. But I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!